not perfection is a myth. It is not possible. The only perfect one is Jesus, and that is not us. So better is always good. Excellent is even better. But perfection is not attainable. And I think we put that pressure on ourselves. And because the way I learned dance was by being told what was not good. You know what's good. Let's work on what's not good, and that's fine. But in that, you try for this thing that is perfect, but it's the best that you can possibly give at the moment is what it is.
Man.
And we get better from there.
Welcome back to The Fade. I'm your wonderful host, Mr. Brandon Morgan, and I am sitting here with our legendary and illustrious guest, Miss Lauren Anderson. I'm going to do some claps. How are you doing today?
I am great. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you in the corner of The Fade. So we're just going to sit down, have a nice little exchange of words. It's going to be pretty easy, ask a couple questions, and you just flow with it. So,
okay.
Introduction, right? So just give us your name and who you are and where you're from for the people in the world who may not know who you are, although they should. But if they don't, if you are ever so kind to just give a basic introduction of who you are and what you mean to the world.
Okay, well, my name is Lauren Anderson. I'm a native Houstonian.
Woo.
I grew up in 3rd Ward, Houston. I'm from the trade, boom shakalaka. I am actually, so my claim to fame, whoever it is that people think I am, I am the first black prima ballerina of the Houston Ballet. One of very few ballerinas at the head of a major ballet company.
Amen.
Black ballerinas at the head of a ballet company in the world. But that's not my kind of thing. My thing now is education.
Okay.
I want to people always say, are you looking for the next Lauren Anderson? No, I'm looking for the next them, whoever they are. And it's all about, for me, giving students the opportunity to have high quality arts education in whatever kind of form I can.
Amen. Okay, so can you just take me through the journey of little Lauren up to big Lauren that we have today?
In 5 minutes or less.
Maybe 2.5.
Okay, I can do it. So I started dancing at the age of 7.
Okay.
My father was the first assistant principal of the high school for the performing and visual arts.
Okay.
Before y'all try to figure out all these numbers.
HSPVA
in 1972. And so he was hiring dance teachers from HSPVA, from Houston Ballet to work at HSPVA.
Gotcha.
And he came upon James Clouser, who happened to be one of our future directors, and said, would ballet be good for an overactive 7-year-old girl? And he said, yes, and here I am. So I started taking ballet classes, didn't like it right away. I'm real competitive. There was one boy in class named Eric, and my goal was to jump higher than him, and I found out I had this superpower, and I loved to move to music. And so that was kind of the bug that got me. I saw Dance Theater of Harlem. Okay. Representation does matter, because I was going to quit. I saw them and said I wanted to be her.
Amen.
And there were a bunch of black, brown, beige ballerinas on stage that looked like me, and I didn't realize that I hadn't seen a black ballerina until I saw one. And then from there, it was just a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, and some bumps along the way, for sure, because, this chocolate brown woman was trying to break into this, and I wasn't trying to break into anything. I was just dancing.
Amen.
But found out that it wasn't always the most welcoming space for somebody that looked like me. But one thing I will say about Houston's a lot different than people think it is, when it comes to the arts and that. In 1979, I was Alice in Alice in Wonderland, and we know what she looks like. She's not like Cinderella, that story of the rags to riches, or Sleeping Beauty, the princess that gets kissed. No, we know she's a white chick with blonde hair, blue eyes, a blue dress, and black shoes. I mean, we know that. I got to play her. So the director, who was the ally, because sometimes it takes us to have an ally to get anywhere, that doesn't look like us. Had this forward mindset.
Gotcha.
Now, granted, he did tell me that he didn't think I was going to be a ballerina, but I did the work.
Yeah.
And he allowed the space for the work, and then lo and behold hired me and I became who it is people think I am.
So I without naming too many names, but I was reading an article about you encountered someone with the initials of B and S. And
Ben Stevenson. You
yes,
can say, baby,
okay.
Ben Stevenson.
Yes,
honey,
ma'am.
Ben Stevenson was the director of the Houston Ballet.
Yes, ma'am.
And he is the man, and I still talk to him today, but he is the man who took the hits for me.
Yeah.
Literally, I found out through doing an interview on television, and I watched the interview, and he said, well, there's an FBI file on Lauren. And I'm like, what? And he goes, well, yeah, whenever there's any kind of terrorist threat or whatever, the FBI opens a file. Any kind of threat of any kind, racial or whatever. And I'm not the only one at the ballet with that kind of file, because we've had people of all colors, all nationalities. Anyway, long story short, he took a lot of the hits because he's the one who took the chances and put me out there like that. Yeah. So we're grateful. You can say his name, Ben Stevenson. Let's say it. Don't forget it.
Yes, ma'am. But I was just reading an article about about how much he has been instrumental in what you have done and
what I'm doing now as a teacher, because he's the one who said, darling, by all accounts, you will be teaching in the summer intensive. I was like, what you mean I'm teaching in the summer intensive? I don't know how to teach ballet. How many classes have you had? Do that.
Okay.
And then, led me that way because I was not a choreographer. Okay. So it allowed me to have a career after my career.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood. So just take me through the challenges on the way up, right? As an artist myself, people always see us in the light of the show, what we're doing, and nobody really knows like the process and the climb up and how challenging or stressful or difficult, sometimes depressive that may be, so just give me a little insight of that, like the climb up to being the new Lauren Anderson now.
Well, the thing is, there's always those things of insecurities, right? So my biggest challenge was me and what goes on between my two ears, right? So, and you're always looking at the other person who's got better feet, better legs, more extension or whatever, something that you don't have. And so there's that. But the challenge for me basically was people coming from other places to choreograph on us or set pieces on us and feeling as though I should be in there, whether I'm capable of doing it or not, technically. So the challenge was not getting defeated when I knew I deserved to be in the space. But for instance, the ballet Swan Lake. In the quarter ballet of Swan Lake, it's it's either 16 or 24 or 32 swans. Okay. And they're white. And they're in white tutus, and generally it's a row of white chicks because it needs to be uniform, right? So it goes short to tall, it's even on both sides, it's aesthetically pleasing, blah, 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 blah. However, if you all of a sudden have this brown chick in the middle of it, it supposedly ruins the continuity. So this gentleman from this company came to set this piece, and Ben said, well, Lauren's lovely, but I just can't have her in the middle of the core. It's not uniform. And Ben looked at him and said, well, absolutely, if you put her in the middle of the core, it would absolutely be uniform because we have a bunch of white chicks on one side, her in the middle, and a bunch of white chicks on the other side. And the guy went, And so Ben told the assistant that was the person who was the rehearsal assistant, said, make sure Lauren's in the middle of every line in the core. So there's no reason to not have her in there, right? So there's those kind of challenges. Now, I sometimes heard these conversations. So my thing was, I'm going to dance so well that you're going to have to use me. And then when somebody goes out, I'm able to go in. Amen. So that was kind of it's that old school mentality. I don't know if kids come up with that now. Kids want to be given everything. And they, and they think that social media, that thing that they see is the truth, but no, you're only as good as your last show, no matter where your last show was. If it's at Miller Theater or if it's at the Met, you're only as good as the last thing you produced. I agree. So that was kind of the And Ben said to me, "You're gonna have to be better than everybody out there to be accepted as just as good as."
That's just the truth of being a melanated person. You know, like that. A melanated person. That's the truth.
Hold up. A melanated person. I like that.
That is just the truth of it. Like you know, no matter how much work you put in, you know, there are often way more people who are given better opportunities, no matter what your talent range or hard work.
All the things.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate truth.
Yeah, but so then that should be incentive for you to work harder or work for yourself.
Hey, that's even better. Even better.
If you're not being treated the way you feel like you should be treated, if you're doing the work, because some of y'all, here I go. I'm gonna go there because some of y'all complain about it, and there's solution, right? There's not just problem, there's solution. So I think we would all be in a better place if we were more solution oriented than just complaining.
I would like for you to tell me about the thing that I know for sure of more than is Cleopatra, right? You are the epitome of what Cleopatra is. It is what has vaulted Miss Lauren Anderson to the stratosphere. Like, so can you please just enlighten me on that moment and process and just what that is? How does that work for you?
Okay. So the best thing in the world is to have a piece done for you specifically. That is the ultimate compliment and pressure and just it's like being a president. It's like all the weight of the world's on you.
Not this president.
Okay, that's a whole nother conversation.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
That's another session.
Edit that out, Corey. I'm sorry.
That's another conversation.
Edit that out. We gonna get fired.
There's that first. And then living up to that legend that she is. So what I did is I went to the library, which I don't even know if people do that anymore, but I went to the library and researched, and you know, she looks nothing like Liz Taylor.
Not at all.
But I'm just saying, and actually Ben said that to me, which I thought was funny. And I'd taken a trip to Rome, and I know she was from Egypt, but still, there was an entrance to Rome and the whole thing. And I found out that she was an astronomer and astrologer. She spoke 8 languages. She was a businesswoman she was a protector of Egypt. She was so many things that we don't know. Man. And she was just an amazing example of all the things. So in finding that out, reading all that and then having it choreographed on me and all that, and then we're like a week before opening night, I said, Ben, so who is Cleopatra? What am I supposed to? He goes, well, we'll find out on opening night. She's you. Whatever day of the week you pop up on the stage. I mean, bring your experience, your lived experiences through whatever you know and whatever we feel and what the story is to the stage, and that gave me grace to be me. Like me. I wasn't playing anybody else but a woman who was having these experiences as Cleopatra, like for the first time ever. So it was amazing. It was spectacular. My Cleopatra things are in the Smithsonian.
That was actually going to be my next segue.
Was like,
can you talk about like what is that feel? So I believe in 2016 your ballerina shoes are now in the Smithsonian Museum of African American. I probably said that name wrong, but it's the African American Museum in D.C.
Let me help you.
Smithsonian.
Let me help you. Mm-hmm. It's the National African American Museum of History and Culture.
Gotcha.
The latest Smithsonian museum.
Got it. But your shoes were retired there in 2016.
So it's the last Sugar Plum shoes, my last shoes that and the reason they chose those is because, first of all, that's the role I've done the most. That was the role that I retired in. And it's a full circle moment. So when I saw Dance Theater of Harlem is when I decided I wanted to dance. Yes. So I'm in the Dance Theater of Harlem case. And my shoes, originally, it was my shoes. Now it's my Cleopatra headpiece, and then it's going to be the Cleopatra costume, and it's going to be whatever. It's going to have a collection. that they're rotating.
Miss Lord, do you understand you are legendary?
It is next to
It's crazy.
Arthur Mitchell, who was the first black principal dancer of New York City Ballet in the 50s and started Dance Theater of Harlem in 1968. Yeah. So they're next to his bronze shoes. Amazing. But the most amazing, I have a story.
I'm waiting for it.
Okay. So that is amazing. And it's an absolute honor to be recognized by my people in such a public way.
Yeah.
But, child, wait. So we get there and they're opening the museum. Now we got like presidents and all this kind of thing, and everybody who's anybody. Oprah, who has that theater is named after her, blah, 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 blah. So my manager contacts him. I said, now look, I want my son to come, but his history teacher said for him to get out, he has to take pictures by your shoes, take pictures at these other places. And I'm like, well, we're going to all those other places, but by my shoes could be difficult because it's hard to get in, you know. So they arranged for us to come in between Patti LaBelle's sound check and Usher.
Oh.
So I said to her, please don't mention Usher or my son will not want to go upstairs and see my shoes. And I want to see Patti, but whatever. So we go in and she goes, okay, so Usher's going to be coming in about 15 minutes. My son was like, Usher? And I was like, little boy, we're going upstairs to see these shoes. We've made this. So we go upstairs, we go through the museum, we go through, it's amazing. I hadn't been in there yet. I hadn't seen my shoes. I hadn't seen anything. We get to the sports floor. He's like, Mama, I want to read the walls. It was just amazing. Ollie's gloves and Carl Lewis's medals. And okay, we get to the top floor and it says taking the stage. There's a video of me and Carlos Acosta up on the thing. We walk through. We go into this room. I see Alvin Ailey stuff on the walls. Man. I'm just like Lena Horne's stormy weather dress. I mean, Porgy and Bess costume. I mean, it's just. I'm vibrating. Yeah. Then I look, I don't even see my picture up on the wall back here. I ain't even seen that. We look and there's this Dance Theater of Harlem, huge thing. And I'm like, oh, wow. And there's the Creole Giselle dress and Arthur Mitchell's vest. And I look to the right and there are my shoes. And there's this thing at the bottom that says the history of Dance Theater of Harlem. And then the last picture is me as a Sugar Plum Fairy. My son walked up to this and said, y'all, this is my mama. Then he said, my grandchildren can come see their great-grandchildren in this museum. We all broke down. That was when it was real to me, how important this is. And it's not even about me. Yeah. So, yeah.
I totally
that's
agree.
Where I am all the time.
But to say that it's not about you, like we would not be here through you.
No, it's not. You. Because I went through, so I went back to the museum this past year, and I went and I started at the bottom, and you go up and you find out about the passage, you find out about all of it. Stuff that we didn't even learn. Now, I went to Bunnyland Academy that was on Blodgett Ennis, which was a black school, so we learned about black history, which a lot of it is not being taught. At all. And some of that stuff I did not know. This was a world thing. This just wasn't just Europe going to the thing. It was the entire world enslaved us. The entire world against us. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. So I suggest everyone go, not just for what's on the bottom floor, for what's all the way to the top, right? It's just, and it's growing, and it's a lot. It's about, it's letting the world know what happened, our history, so we don't repeat it. Because I tell you one thing, Jewish people are not going to let you forget about the Holocaust.
No, they are not.
Okay, so let's not get it twisted.
We should.
So it's good. I mean, there's groves of kids that go there all the time, and people from all over the world go there to see this. So it's not about me. It's about us. It's about us.
Speaking of black people, this is our segue into Fade into Black, right? So, Fade to Black, our play festival happening in 2025.
Well, you can call it a play festival if you want to, because it's an arts festival. Correct, because there are more, maybe I'm a little biased because I like plays, so I called it a play festival, but it is definitely an arts explosion. It has become an arts explosion, which is great, and I'm glad
for Houston.
It's exploding here.
Yes,
right?
Amen.
It's gonna be I'm almost like about it because of it's hidden all the things and all the partners, all the biggies, the big five, plus everybody else. It's all about arts for all. For sure.
Can you talk about your involvement coming up for 2025?
So Houston Ballet is partnering with the festival, and we're trying to infiltrate, and we're starting with ballet. Not with ballet. We're starting with modern jazz and hip hop.
Okay.
And a dance to learn called performing poetry. Which is there's your nod to poetry, and it's for all ages. We have classes for elementary, for middle, and for high, and so this is our first dipping our toes in the water, and this is an intro. And you're not gonna be able to get rid of us, so don't think you can, because we're gonna. I just think it's gonna eventually get to ballet.
Yeah.
Right, that's where we're going because art is for all of us.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, what we like to do here at our fade corner, we have this little thing we call Fade It Forward, right? So it's just a moment for you to impart any golden nuggets of advice or any type of constructive criticism, because, good criticism can be very healthy. But anything at all that you want to give to an aspiring dancer or artist or anything at all, you can give it straight to your camera right there, and you can let all the people know exactly what they need to know.
Okay, well, I have pearls.
Okay. Of course, I see the pink and the green.
And the green. So I will drop a few pearls. Well, I will say this. What I'm going to say, what I would tell younger me. I am enough. You are enough. Don't try to be something that you aren't, which is somebody else. Stay in your lane and don't worry about what all these other people are doing. I feel as if I had focused on me more, not selfishly, but I mean, I really wanted to be this, and I wanted to be that, and I wanted to be more like somebody else, which is never going to happen. But more importantly than that, perfection is a myth. It is not possible. The only perfect one is Jesus, and that is not us. So better is always good. Excellent is even better. But perfection is not attainable. And I think we put that pressure on ourselves, and because the way I learned dance was by being told what was not good. You know what's good. Let's work on what's not good, and that's fine. But in that, you try for this thing that is perfect, but it's the best that you can possibly give at the moment is what it is.
Man.
And we get better from there.
Man, I appreciate that. I needed that myself. I'm working things out, and I surely appreciate those nuggets for myself. So, Ms. Lauren, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to little old me for a little bit. And we appreciate everything that you have done for Houston in general. I'm born and raised in Houston myself, and I'm just in awe to even be able to sit here for a moment next to you for the time being. So thank you for all that you have done, all that you are, all that you will continue to do for this city.
Yeah, because it ain't over.
No.
We're not done.
We'll continue.
There's more to do.
We'll continue.
Always.
But for the time being, for now, I thank you so much. Thank you for dropping by the corner in the fade. Thank you for talking to me. And that'll pretty much wrap up everything that we got here.
Okay,
So
thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, I've been your host, Brandon Morgan, with our wonderful, legendary guest, Miss Lauren Anderson. And once again, we will catch you later. Corey, we done? Corey, we done? Thank you so much.
That's hilarious. That was awesome. That's awesome.
You don't remember this, but you and I have a connection.
This is Errol Anthony Wilkes, our board member and all-time favorite guy.
Yes.
I know this voice.
The smoke rising from her head while she thinks about it.
No. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm putting on my sugar plum tutu.
Office to fix your name. that was me who took care of you.
Oh my God, no, hold on.
What? How crazy is
You
that?
made it so easy.
What?
She was?
Yes!
And it was you?
Because he always does the celebrity.
Because I cried that day. I was like,
She came in and I said to myself, this lady's been all over the world and done so many amazing things, and she's scared about coming to the Social Security office to do something that we think is so simple, you know.
but it was.
But
It was
because she
a
thought it was an
lot.
awesome thing, I was like,
I was so grateful.
I'll tell you.
I was so grateful. I came to your window. Number one, I said it's God. I did.
Yeah.
I did, didn't I?
Yes.
I said it's God that I'm sitting in front of you. Because you're going to take care of me. I know you are. I can feel it. I can tell. He's
A
awesome.
man of everywhere,
No,
bro.
he's awesome.
wait, hold on.
He's
Denise
awesome.
wasn't finished with her introduction. You said all around great guy. Continue.
I love it. I love it.
Ladies, man.
Keep going.
And the best Social Security guy in the world.